Hey, Steve, let's try to decorate a little bit for Christmas.
Huh?
Let's try to decorate a little bit for Christmas.
Yeah, okay.
How can we
I
do
tried
it?
to put them lights around there, but it just didn't look
Didn't
good.
look good? Okay. I just thought
Let's see if we can put these up here. Oh, let's see. Oh, that might be too big.
yeah, it's way too big.
We can put it right here. That'll help too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We don't have to worry about it.
See if we can put it on the outside, maybe. We got one more, don't we, somewhere?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Yeah, there's one back there.
Let me see what that looks like. That looks pretty good.
Let's see here.
This just needs to come out a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't have much, but we have a little bit. Little bit of something. That damn chroma key, we can't use green. That's green and red is main Christmas colors.
Yeah, I know.
makes you look about that big.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
They look good like that, though.
They do? All right, yeah.
Yeah. Looking good.
Have you put up your tree at home? Have you and your wife put up a tree?
Oh, yeah.
It's November at Premier. Shop PremierTro.com. And the most important nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. I'm Mike Amos. He's Bill Rice Jr. Good morning, Bill. What's up?
Well, I saw you doing the parade.
Well, I'm glad you did.
I got a running nose, but I switched back and forth between the football game and the parade coverage and saw you, and my kids and wife went to the parade.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
And it looked like it was really, really good.
It was packed. I tell you what, it was a crowd, for a 7 o'clock start. And, I'm sure a lot of people were wondering why they started at 7. Well, one thing, I think, for people to get to the parade and settle down. Of course, it was a big parade. I'm telling you, over 100 units, and
wow.
Leanne Wyndham and her crew just went overboard on bringing these groups to town to be in the parade.
Thank you, Leanne, and everybody that put it on. Maggie came home and she gave me a lot of candy. It was like it was Halloween, so I guess they were throwing candy off the floats. I like that.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, and of course. It opened the season now, even though we're running a little bit late as far as having a parade. Everybody seemed to be jubilant and wanting to shop in Troy.
That's the goal.
And that's the goal. That's why you have the parade, and that's why you do the things to promote Christmas in our city.
Don't buy everything from Amazon. Go see your neighbors, support them. That brings out the Christmas cheer when you see people when you're shopping.
Yeah, exactly. Got my Santa on today. I got my little Santa Claus here this morning, and he's ready to go.
Good for you.
Of course, we
got a poinsettia.
The word in sports is why, oh, why did you do it to me, Bo? Why did you do it to me? I still say that Bo is one of the most popular players to ever play at Auburn. Wouldn't you say?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
You think Auburn people don't like Bo?
I think some do. I think he's polarizing. I think there's some folks that like him and some folks say he's overrated.
I mean, even Auburn people say that?
That's what I don't get out and about as much as some people, but I picked up that a little bit.
But you look at his stats, they're impressive. Impressive stats,
Well, we've talked about it before. We got good Bo and we got bad Bo. And we don't know.
Raymond,
we got good Raymond and we got bad Raymond.
Dum. Excuse me, Bo. Raymond has just entered the portal here. Just hold on a minute. We'll have your chair ready to go. Raymond walks into our studio, and of course, ladies and gentlemen,
here, Raymond.
From Raymond.
No, this is Laid Back TV in Spanish. You sit right there, Raymond.
See, Raymond, come in. We'll get that. Let me get this thing set up high for you. Wait a minute. There we go. Come on in here. Raymond Ledford, ladies and gentlemen, has just entered the. There we go. All right, we got it. Because Raymond from Raymond's Style Shop this morning, and have you been into the house yet?
I haven't been to the shop yet. I'm dragging around.
Well, I'm glad you came by, and of course Raymond is one of my very favorite people, and
Bill, you doing well?
Well, till I get his chair working, Raymond.
That's right.
Fall. It's missing the
you
wheel.
got to come up a little bit.
Yeah, I need to come up.
Boy, I tell you, He's crossing. There we go. All right, you're looking pretty good right there, Raymond. You're looking pretty good.
That all right?
Yes, sir. And like we said, laid back television at its very best. And of course, Raymond, I know it's the holiday season, but more than anything, it's hunting season. Is that right?
Hunting season. I hadn't been deer hunting in about 6 years. I still fish a lot, but I hadn't been. But I got to go this year.
Well, you gonna deer hunt some?
I am.
Do you eat the meat?
Oh man, that country fried steak is the best.
Really? You mean the country fried steak?
Cube steak.
Where you go ahead and cube it and everything and fry it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, there are no shortage of deer, because I see them all over Troy, including in my backyard. Don't shoot any in my backyard, though. They're like pets to me now. But with the price of steaks, I can understand why somebody might want to make their own deer steaks.
Oh yeah.
For free.
But do you find that the country style deer meat is as good as any?
It is as good as it won't stand up to a sirloin or T-bone or
Filet.
ribeye, but it's fine as, country fried.
Well, it's cubed. It's probably tender too, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Raymond, of course, long lived in Troy, and of course was raised out at the Baptist Children's Home. Every morning you ride right by those cottages that you had a lot of great memories.
I did this morning. Most of the time I go 2:31.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, to the shop. Bill's talking about the price of meat. We figured we had about $1,000 a pound in it. Time you buy the 4-wheel drive pickup and feed 4 hounds for all year.
Yep.
Run them the gas you spent,
Yep.
and we had a pile of money in ours.
Yeah. Now you probably have the luxury of fishing in the finest fishing holes in the whole country. Is at Kenny's, is that right?
That's right.
And how did you get such a privilege to fish in his ponds?
I was at the private school deer hunt one night, and Kenny came to me. He says, I need your help. Come and see me before you leave tonight. It was on Friday night. So I was selling the sweepstakes tickets.
Yeah.
Getting money up for the private school. And about 9:30 I went to him. He says, I just bought the Brantley Wiley ponds and I want you to catch 200 bass out of them. So, well, that's a bad job. Somebody's got to do it. So I'll do it. Mr. Jim Williams and I, my fishing partner, we started catching fish. And he told me, said, I got 13 ponds, you'll fish in all of them before it's over. So I pretty well have, and they real nice. And then Sykes and Cons got 13.
James, you fish in their pond too?
James, he needed some fish out.
How big are his fish? Does he got big
ones. I've hung, they look like, I said there was 12 or 14 pounds, and my fishing partner said they weighed 14 or 15 pounds.
Oh boy, is that
Of course, they got off. I never have landed. Ken's the biggest one I've ever caught.
Oh, that's still big.
10 pounder, it sure is.
I might have caught a 2.5 pound bass. That's the biggest I've caught.
Well, you have the luxury of fishing in some of the finest fishing holes in Alabama.
Oh,
you really do.
Yeah.
And guys, for a brim fisherman like you, and you like the bass fish too, but now why does he want his bass out and he wants to leave his brim?
They take the yearling bass out 14 inches and down.
Yeah.
And then, some of the ponds you can catch the brim too.
Yeah.
Big brim,
Now let me ask you about your pond, Mike. The Crow Hill, Nelson's by the Lake Pond. Does it still got fish in it?
I would think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think so. It's not fish very much. I don't know many people that are fishing it.
A few talk about it. They say you got some big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But That's I haven't fished in it in quite a while. And
my father-in-law Frank Friars can be on the show soon, and he just bought a house on Creek Stand Road off Butter and Egg Road, where Margaret Pace Farmer and Curran used to live.
That
and they got a pond right in their backyard, man.
On the left.
Yeah, they walk 10 yards in their backyard and just throw a line out there for brim, bass, catfish.
Yeah. Well,
right here in Troy, in the city limits.
I know they enjoy that. And of course, it's very convenient, isn't it?
Well, there's some other lakes up in Crow Hill. I mean, are they fishing those little ponds?
Those are, one of them's KT Coles, and the other one is down to the Sheriff's Pond.
They got fish in them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Lots of fish.
There's down to the Sheriff's.
We fish KTs.
Oh, yeah, huh? Of course, KT's got a pretty pond there.
Yeah.
I prefer, and I was raised fish for bass, but I prefer catching big old bull brim.
Yeah.
On the cane pole?
Yeah, I like it on the cane pole or either way. You have to rig it,
Dr. Collins Pond was the finest one around. You catch.
Well, the family still fishes in the
They got it,
pond,
yeah,
don't they?
they can.
Yeah, we talk about, every time Raymond comes on, we talk about College Pond because my grandparents, KK and Hickey Chapman, they had a trailer at College Pond for decades with a lot of people in Troy did. And so I spent a lot of time up there at that pond. You know what I would do though? I would catch turtles and I would get my line. I'd get my line hung up all the time. I was an awful fisherman.
Yeah.
Rush, my older brother, was into it and was good at it.
Yeah. But so far, Rice is not near the fisherman that you are. You've caught a lot of fish over the years.
Yeah,
do you put them back in the pond, or what do? You probably go.
We throw all the big ones back.
Yeah.
That's mostly your ground root. If you catch, you catch them over 14 inches, you just throw them back.
Yeah.
That seems backwards. It seems like you would keep the big ones. And
No, they want to keep them in. You catch a big one, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And of course, your pike counter.
Breaking news overnight. Looks like former Troy defense coordinator Brandon Hall will go back to his roots and join Brent Venable at Oklahoma as the safeties coach, co-defense coordinator.
Wow.
Brandon Hall will probably about make about $550,000, $600,000 a year at Oklahoma. So congratulations, Coach Hall.
Yeah, oh yeah. Of course, that's a big time move from Troy's defense coordinator to Oklahoma. That's going to pay a lot more money. Oh yeah, no question about it. But have we seen very many coaches changes here at Troy?
But now we know for sure that he will not be retained on John Summerall's staff as defense coordinator. A lot of people have been involved in maybe that he would be coming back as the defense coordinator. So now him going to Oklahoma definitely means Troy will have a new defense coordinator this year.
How about on the offensive side? Do we know anything about it?
I've not heard anything. Biggest news overnight, though, shocking news. Top quarterback in the country this year, preseason pick and win the Heisman Trophy candidate Rattler at Oklahoma, who got in the transfer portal, is going to South Carolina, of all places.
Oh, me. That makes him a winner almost immediately, doesn't it?
I mean, that is the biggest quarterback South Carolina's ever had in the history.
I know it.
South Carolina.
That surprises me. Where is Spencer from?
I don't know. I want to say it's like Vegas or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to look and see, but I think he's from out west. But Shane Beamer, of course, coached at Oklahoma, so had Oklahoma ties.
Yeah.
Maybe possibly recruited him before. So big time pickup.
How many years of eligibility will they have, Mike?
He'll have two.
So that's great. That's great. That's going to really build that South Carolina program. I always feel like that you got to have a good quarterback, and he's proven already. And Of course, we're still buzzing about Bo Nix being in the portal.
Well, also, for about a couple of hours, Tank Bigsby had in.
My birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Raymond.
Today's his birthday?
Happy birthday to you,
Raymond.
Raymond. How old are you? 80?
79.
December
79 years old.
December the 14th?
21. See,
Oh,
born in 42.
and boy, you've been through it all.
You were born in World War II.
I've had a charmed life since I got to Troy.
Of
It's been good.
course, he got here by way of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home, and this time of year, when you get out for school and everything, did y'all go hunting, and what did y'all do?
Usually Saturday afternoon we'd go. We could hunt till dark. Come in, dress our game, and cook it for us for breakfast.
Well, what were you mean coons and possums and all that?
Yeah. The squirrel.
Were you excited about eating that possum?
You put him sweet potatoes around him and bake him. You dress him like you do a hog, scrape it, scald him and scrape it.
Yeah.
He's laying up our big fat possum with sweet potatoes. You better be careful when you eat one, though. You'll eat too much possum. He's pretty greasy, but them sweet potatoes are fine.
Oh, boy.
You eat more potatoes than you do possum.
Oh gosh.
I have made it to 56 without eating one bite of possum.
Yeah, or rattlesnake. I've yet to eat that rattlesnake.
I've eaten
or
rattlesnake. I
coon,
dressed one cooked.
or squirrel. Everything that Raymond has eaten, I have not eaten. I have had some deer.
These folks told me, says,
You never had a duck or rabbit, right?
I've never had rabbit. I think I might have had one bite of duck.
I've had some
Never
rabbit.
had
That's
squirrel.
pretty good.
I like
is-
rabbit, squirrels, but somebody told me, says, rattlesnake's better than frog legs.
Oh
I
boy.
said, if he is, he better hide, because I'm a lucky boy. But when I fried one and ate him, and it was good. It was all right.
Well,
If you was
rattlesnake.
in a survival mode, you'd eat that
Oh
rattlesnake.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can eat
maybe
anything,
so.
apparently. Just
But,
about anything.
A lot of folks like it.
The way things are going, we're all going to be in survival mode. So I'm going to come, Raymond. I'm coming to live with you because I know that you can get me some food.
We'll have them brim and catfish and different things, rabbits, squirrels.
I'm going to
whatever.
sneak over there and fish at Mike's pond. Then I'm going to go to my father-in-law and mother-in-law's and fish at their pond. See, I still remember how to fish. I did it the other day. It all came back to me.
Well, when that cork goes under, you pull it up. Is that right?
We
You got to be able to put the hook on though, and the little bobber, and there's some steps involved.
Yeah.
there at Crow's Pond.
Raymond, if you live where I live, you'd be fishing in the Gulf of Mexico every day. You'd be out there catching all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I walk, and a lot of times, when you walk, you see like dead animals, stuff like that on the side of the road. When I walk, I see dead crabs.
Yeah.
I see crabs to get run over.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
A lot of people love crab. I think I've had some crab. I've had lobster.
Oh, crab cakes are some of my favorite things.
Yeah, but crab, boy.
Just boiled crab.
But I tell you what, crab.
Mike told us that there's only one part of the lobster that's really good, right?
What now?
Didn't you say that just one part of the lobster is good?
Oh yeah, the tail's about the best thing. Yeah,
That's some good eating.
the tail. But then
Crow's Pond had a little old spillway below the dam.
yeah.
You had a whole line. We'd go by there with all cane poles and we'd catch 75 brim.
Yeah.
Uh,
Those were the.
some good brim. They came up the creek and came out of Mike's. Mr. Crow's Pond.
But I couldn't tell you though whether or not there's any fish in there or not.
They in there. I get news on that. I get a fella named Joel Amos.
Joel, he doesn't go in there much.
He
does
used to though. He knows what's in there.
Yeah, my
Joel's a pretty
brother.
good fisherman.
Now you know what? That once upon a time the city fathers were going to do is they were going to build a big lake called the Walnut Creek Lake,
That's
and it was
right.
going to circle around Charles Henderson High School and Elm Street Road, and it would have been right across the road from Crow Lake. Man, think of all the fish that would have been in there.
Story to tell you on that. I ran against Judge Ben Reeves. I wasn't mad at him. He was a good fellow, and but I told him, I said, we need that Walnut Creek project. But he beat me 593 votes.
That's not bad.
And that was the difference in Pike County having that.
Yeah, that's right.
Walnut Creek Lake was 593 votes.
Because you would have made sure we got it, and we
Oh,
could have
yeah,
got it for a dime.
Charles Pollard,
Yeah.
he was with the.
He was expert on it.
Yeah, he got the grants for it. We had $9 million cash dollars. All we had to do was stick our hand out and take it.
Oh boy.
Corps of Engineers, the general down there says
That easy.
you get Pike County by the land, Troy City pay the Corps of the dam.
That
We haul
bit.
every load of dirt that goes on that dam.
That's right.
All we had to do was stick our hand out and take it. But you know, it would have been
That is a what would have been, because you would have had a college, a highway, and a beautiful, beautiful lake, recreational lake that you could swim in, boat in, fish in, be very scenic. I mean, you would hit a home run over the trees and left field at Charles Henderson baseball field into the lake.
I tell them, I say, my intention is not exactly honorable. I got a corner lot on Elm Street in front of the road.
Did you?
And they was back in the water over Elm Street. You couldn't come to Troy by Elm Street, but you could go by my bait store and my barber shop and my house.
Well, tell me if I'm wrong. That's what I heard beat the initiative. There was a vote one year.
Oh, yeah.
And the people were saying, "Oh, a few folks are going to get rich on it, and it's a ripoff."
Oh yeah, they were.
And so it was envy of the few people that might have made some money off of it that prevented us all from having it.
We had a 1,050-acre lake. State of Alabama wanted 500 acres for a state park on the lake.
I thought it was going to be a 2,000-acre lake. I think they were different.
It was just 1,050. But it would have been a good project. But Dr. Hawkins, Doug Hawkins, he got up a 1 cent sales tax vote. That's what he's talking about, the vote. And we didn't make it on that either. But, you know, we had the grants. Charles Pollard had them grants. We just, if I'd have got elected, first thing I'd have done, I'd told Bob Whaley was the Lake Authority. He was the chairman of it. And I'd have told Bob, you go ahead and, you know, get this lake.
Yeah.
But like I said,
with Crow Lake, is it merged into that?
what is? I didn't probably hear.
About Crow Lake merging.
Crow Lake, the pond.
It would have came up too. It would have probably came up to the road there
And then right across the street. I mean,
on Elm Street.
Well, it was.
And all it is swamp land back there. I wish to God they'd build a golf course or something, Troy University or something with all that property and do something with it.
well, you could still do it. I mean, it would cost, where it used to be, it would have cost $300,000 out of pocket. You know, now it would cost $20 million, $50 million, but it would still be worth doing. It's also a water source if you ever had a drought or something.
Yeah. But you can't cry about that spilt milk. You got
right.
too many houses below the water level now.
Oh, you do?
You're right.
You,
Of course,
So you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it anymore.
Raymond had been in business in Troy, Alabama. How many years?
I've been in business for myself 45 years. I worked with Junior Birds 18 years, and we had a good business and still got a pretty good business.
Well, let me ask you this: did you wait too long to to take it over on your own?
No, I moved at the right time.
Yeah.
I don't, you can't second guess yourself, because if you're gonna make a move, you got to go.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
Well, of course, you and Pale owned that business together? Or
Pale came to work with me after I was there a year.
Yeah, okay.
But
you owned the business the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But probably this week, this week's when school gets out, and be 61 years.
Oh,
I've been
man.
cutting hair and so on.
Isn't it unreal?
I cut 3 or 4 years at Baptist Home. I learned to cut out there and Pale.
Well, all you had to do was just sit down, son, and just go ahead and cut it all off.
We had 8 to 12 in the Scott Cottage. That was the first house. First house I came in. And then, we said, you'll look good with a G.I. Joe. So we buzzed 22 of them's head.
Yeah.
You know, just buzzed haircut. They liked it.
Because Raymond, you look back on a lot of things, and of course, growing up at the Baptist Children's Home, was it tough? Was it hard during those days?
We had a pretty easy life. Everybody had a job, and they did it. If you did your job and behaved yourself, you'd fare pretty good.
Yeah.
It was about the best life.
Well, I know this that people talk about giving to different programs, and a lot of people said that you give to the Baptist Children's Home and then they turn around and give to somebody else, because they had so much. Is that right?
They pretty well used it. They had group homes back, in Birmingham and different places, and now I think they got one in Dothan, Mobile.
Yeah.
They probably got more children right now than we had out there. We had 200 on campus out there.
Yeah.
Sorority Hill, I was glad Troy State bought the home. I said, I'd just see them bulldozers, all these high-rise apartments out there. I like it like it is.
Yeah.
Me
It
too.
looks just like it.
Yeah.
You got the same cottages, but
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back to more of Today in L.A.
Tonight. That's my West Side Story song.
Uh-oh. We're not going to be able to come off. Steve will be back in a second.
Well, think about in the children's home, all the great kids that came to Troy and settled in Troy later, and all their families and grandkids. I mean, you talk about the best thing that really ever happened in the history of Troy. I don't know who made it happen, but bringing that children's home from Evergreen, Alabama to Troy, Alabama was a historic day, buddy.
There was a gentleman named Dr. J.O. Chip Colley Sr.
Senior, that's right. He was a fine fellow.
Did you know him?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it brought the college
he was
to
in
Troy.
First Baptist, yeah.
I know, but did you ever cut his hair?
I don't remember cutting his hair. No, I didn't then, because I was young.
Yeah.
He was there when I was 8 years old.
Yeah, he was running the
First
children's
Baptist,
home. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't running it then. Mr. E.E. Cox.
Yeah.
He was the superintendent, and later on, Mr. Shire was superintendent. He was assistant, and then Mr. Cox retired, and Mr. Shire was superintendent. Then my buddy and fellow that helped me probably the most, Mr. Tom Collier.
Okay, yeah.
Mr. Shire was a fine fellow. I said, he could be a preacher, song director, anything you wanted.
Yeah.
Mr. Shire could do it. And Mr. Tom Collier, he left a job in, you think about these folks now, he left a job at Redstone Arsenal at Huntsville.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
To be the superintendent of the Baptist Home.
Yeah, he would have probably been a big wig.
He was making a pile of money out there back, and
Wow.
when he came to Troy, he was,
Well, you think about the Colley family. The children's home brought the Colley family to Troy.
Yeah, no, big family. Or they would have been raised in Evergreen.
That's right. My dad's written a couple of history books, my late father, and one of them was about the most influential people in the Troy history. Dad says the most influential person in Troy history was a guy named Urban Jones. You know what he did, Raymond?
I didn't know him.
Brought the railroad
he
through
lived.
here.
He brought the railroad to Troy.
That was a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. There was no children's home coming to Troy if the railroad had not come to Troy first. The railroad literally made Troy, Alabama. Think of all the people, the Hendersons, that would not have come to Troy unless that railroad had come first. Now, he went broke doing it, but...
They came to Troy in 29. That was a hard year. You know, the Depression was going on. And they moved to Troy. And but I tell them now, we closed the Baptist home, you know. But I said, if you have a depression now, somebody will donate 450 acres or 500. We'll have the same show. We'll have the hog pen for the apartments on Academy Street.
Yeah, that's right.
That was our hog pen.
I don't think...
Down there where the girls softball,
Yeah.
all them tennis courts and all, that was our
Where you
farm,
milk cows.
dairy.
Where you milk cows. That's right.
Now
chicken
they
houses.
went to the foster children concept in group homes, but you can't convince me that anything is better than the Alabama Baptist Children's
it's
Home
not.
model. I mean, I think we probably made a mistake going away from it.
The government, they helped us get out of the business. They said you can't get a child. I came from Morris, Alabama, 170 miles. They said you cannot get a child 50 miles from his environment.
Oh, boy.
And, you know, for me, that was the best thing ever happened to me when I came to Troy.
Yeah.
Like I say, June the 5th, 1951, like I say, ever since I got to Troy, I've led a charmed life. It's 95.
Well, you know, there was other children's homes from different denominations. I think
Yeah,
the Methodists had one. Where was it? Was it in Selma? Okay.
Well, I had 2 or 3 sisters and 3 brothers up there, triplet brothers.
Yeah.
They were up there.
I wonder how the Methodist Children's Home compared to the Alabama Baptist Children's Home.
I never, we went and visited his brother and sisters, but we didn't ever go on the home. I don't even know how many cottages they had, but they had a good operation at Selma too.
You know, I was talking to the guy the other day, and he says that every time he goes deer hunting, he said they're running up a bunch of pigs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was coming back from Dothan Sunday evening, and you remember where Jack Taylor had his place right below Brundage?
Yeah.
Pretty good place down there. I saw the horses out there, and chair was driving. I was sitting there, and I looked out there, and in the horse pen, here comes a red hog, about 200-pound hog, came walking across that pasture. Wow. He's wild.
Did y'all
They
kill him?
didn't have a hog. No, you know, he's just walking up there. He'll just find him a hole in the fence or make him one, and he'll go where he wants to go.
But, you know, those hogs are just...
Raymond's from Morris, Alabama, population of 1,800 people right now. Back when he was growing up, there was only 600 people. The notable people from there is former Florida State quarterback Peter Tom Willis.
Is they where Peter Tom's from? Okay.
That's all right.
Also, Pat Brunstrom, star of Green Acres as Mr. Haney, and Gene Autry's sidekick, Pat Bantrum, is from Morris, Alabama.
Never knew that.
John watched Green Acres or Gene Autry?
Yes, of course. Gene Autry sings I was listening to Christmas music on the way to Enterprise the other day, and he had I think he had a big Christmas carol hit.
They also have a brand new hospital up there called Mortimer Jordan Hospital.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, that school's been there a long time, but they just built them a new building. Yeah.
Wild hogs and wild boars. A lot of people hunt those.
Yeah, that's pretty easy hunting, isn't it? Would you want to shoot the big hog or the little pigs?
Yeah. So you go. You got these high fences. They raise the big deer. We got.
Yeah, there's a high fence down the street from you.
Yeah, right across the road. He's got some big elk. We had a cat. He'd follow us everywhere we went. Me and Christopher, we had Dr. Wiggins had one elk, and there was 9 by 9 horns from the floor this high. His horns was that high.
Boy!
And we'd go over, and my cat would follow us across the street, and we call him Floppy. He had one ear broke that laid over, the tip of it, like a Doberman pencil.
Yeah.
They trim the ears so they won't lay over like that. But that elk probably got in a fight. But that ear laid over, and we call him Floppy. But we'd go over and talk to him. He'd come as 10 or 15 feet from the fence. And he wanted to kill my cat. He'd paw and snorting at that cat. I reckon, he's thinking it wasn't big as a mountain lion, but he was associating him with it. I reckon. But he sure wanted to get him. He'd paw the ground, and we'd talk to him. He'd just stand there. But he wasn't interested in us, but he wasn't afraid of us. And he was a fine.
Yeah.
The other day I was, I don't know how we got interested in this, but I was showing the kids some videos of pets that had saved their owners from wild animal attacks, like mountain lions and cougars out in California. Yeah. And there is a lot of videos of dogs, family dogs, that will see a cougar or something tracking a small child, and that cougar will start coming after that small child, and the family dog will go and risk its life, and sometimes does get killed saving human beings. I was really touched by those videos.
Well, I tell you, it's every time you go out in the woods, you're going to see something different. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. You see, we got the bald eagle.
Yeah. Did you see the eagle?
Yeah.
Where did you go in Pike County?
Kenny Campbell's. We fish a 56-acre up in Bullock County. He was 8'2". Bass, we weighed him. He was 8'2". He swallowed my rattle trap. He was bleeding like a stuck hog, blood all the way down his side. Jeremiah Kendrick took my Diet Coke and poured down his throat and got the lure out, and he was bleeding. He threw him back, and that bass swam off. I said, man, put him in the cooler. We'll dress him for the land. I'll eat that fish. But anyway, Jeremiah said, no, he's going back. Said, he'll be all right. And later on, we'll go around. I said, that big alligator snapper, he's about from Bill over here to Micah to that plant. Alligator snapper, wider than this dead. I said, that thing will eat that bass,
Yeah.
And about that time, we came around a corner, and up over us up there, 7-foot wing spread bald eagle.
Oh man.
He saw us, and he just bowed up,
Yeah,
just sat there.
He could be dangerous, couldn't he?
Yeah, I said, don't worry about the fish. That's what'll eat him right there if he dies. So don't worry about him.
I got a bald eagle story. My parents had a place at Lake Martin for about 15 years, and I was up there one time laying out on the deck sunbathing, and I looked up, and there were bald eagles that lived at Lake Martin. They lived in a nest near Chimney Rock. And sure enough, a bald eagle flies right into our slough and lands in our front yard, 20 yards from me.
Now
the
bald eagle had the white head.
It had a white head. It
Yeah,
was unmistakably America's mascot or whatever symbol.
Yeah. We're
we got Troy basketball tonight. Troy men's basketball team. We got some promotions going on. We'll take on Alabama A&M today. Tip off at 6 p.m. It's $2 Tuesday. Fans can get one general admission ticket, a hot dog, popcorn, and soda for just $2 a piece. There'll also be wing night at Trojan Arena. Wings at the concession stand are only $9. To get your $2 tickets for the game, go to TroyTrojans.com. Also tomorrow night, you'll have the Troy women's on the University of Alabama Huntsville at 6 p.m. Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus will be making an appearance. All children ages 12 and under receive free admission with a purchase of adult tickets. So, a lot of stuff going on in that Trojan Arena.
Well, Rice, you're in there with your kids if you want to be there.
Okay, yeah, we want to go.
And of course, we
Tonight.
Big basketball game for Troy, though. Troy, if they can win out, possibly would be 9-5 going into conference play.
That's pretty good, no question.
Raymond, have you ever seen the movie West Side Story?
I am.
Well, there's a remake of it out now, and that's why I'm singing Tonight. Tonight.
And
was that any good, Ryan?
I give it 3 stars. It was interesting. It's the first time I've been to the movie in forever, and I had to go to Enterprise to do it. Now, tickets are out through the roof in the concessions, but to take 4 people, my wife and 2 kids, to the movies, if I include gas, it cost me about $110.
oh man,
But you know, the movie.
Mike, last week before the Alabama-Georgia game, the SEC channel, they had a Georgia helmet up there with a big G on it. You knew it was Georgia. And on the Alabama side, they didn't have Alabama. They had number 18 on the helmet. If you was out of town and you didn't know about Alabama, you wouldn't know that was Alabama. And I said, SEC channel ignored them all week. Oh, Georgia's going to beat them bad, you know. They're the best team in America. But I've watched it about 20 times since the replay. Sherry asked me on the 5th time I watched it, she says, reckon is Alabama going to win? I said, yeah, they'll win.
Yeah.
You know every play.
Yeah. I tell folks Alabama wins because they want to.
Yeah.
Mike called it. Mike Amos said Alabama was going to win. Said it with confidence.
Yep.
Dad likes anytime Alabama is an underdog. I think that's definitely Alabama will play their best game.
Yeah. I told my boys, I said, we're going to win by 51. That was the week before the game.
Yeah.
The problem is Alabama keeps on getting all these guys hurt before the Cincinnati game. I'm just hoping that Alabama will be able to run the ball a little bit more against Cincinnati than they've been able to run the last couple of weeks. I'm hoping that Brian Robinson will be 100%. That would be huge going into that game.
Yeah, they're going to have some kind of running attack. You're right.
I like the passing game.
Yeah, they're going to get
a hamstring though is hard to recover from. You can pull a hamstring in a heartbeat.
Well, I tell you what, it sort of ended my career in football. I tore my hamstring doing bull in the ring. You ever done bull in the ring?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I did not like it.
And you're right. And they stopped doing it now because of the injuries. You know, bull in the ring. You know, it was sort of a.
Basically, you just attack 2 people like giant rams or bull elephants. Just run right into each other.
They would blow a whistle behind you, and you wouldn't even be able to turn around before somebody knocked your head off.
You go do it again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my bull in the ring stories, 2 of them. I got to go on some recruiting trips because my friend Charles Bradshaw was recruited. He could take a friend.
Yeah.
And so I went to an Auburn game. When Pat Dye was a young coach, Auburn was recruiting Charles, and Auburn's running backs were doing bull in the ring before the game. I mean, they weren't even tapping each other full speed because they were getting ready to play a game. I mean, it was horrifying to watch those guys.
I know.
And then Charles later went to Florida and played for a year. And the star linebacker for Florida was a guy named Wilbur Marshall. He was kind of the Will Anderson of his day. He was really, really good. Played for the Bears for a long time. And Charles later told me that every practice they did bull in the ring. You know, the linebackers and Charles had to butt Wilbur Marshall.
Oh, boy.
He said, I was seeing stars, you know, from minute 10 of practice.
Yeah. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more of Today in L.A.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
No money down. No down payment. No payments till February 2022. No interest. That's right. It's November at Premier. Shop PremierTroy.com. And the most important nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch. A high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas District.
Yes, sir. Back to our show brought to you by Pike Tree Service. And I tell you what, he does a great job. You probably cut his hair, don't you? Of course, we appreciate all of our sponsors, Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, they're the only bank you'll ever need. And also Sandbuck Insurance, Denny Sanford in downtown Troy. And we appreciate him. And, of course, he always got offices now in Andalusia and in Enterprise. There's still, everybody still cannot believe that Bo Nix has entered the portal and now is looking for a job.
Transfer, yeah.
That's right. And it's rumored, the rumor is out there, I've heard it too many times, that he's actually looking at Troy. Have you heard that?
He'd be in a good spot. He'd get him a pro contract out of Troy.
Mike, what do you think about this? What do you think about Bo doing what he's doing?
I mean, I think the only way he comes to Troy is if his dad is the offense coordinator at Troy.
Yeah, well, and he's a pretty good coach, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been real successful.
Yeah, I tell you what, it wouldn't bother.
He's been a really good high school coach.
I tell you what, it wouldn't bother me one bit.
I'd like it too.
You know, National Signing Day is tomorrow.
Tomorrow is I thought it was the 15th. Well, it is the 15th tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, days.
That's right.
Well, boy, that's going to be interesting. Now, how does it work affect the portal, though, Mike? They're sort of they belong to the 85 member.
Scholarship number.
Yeah, scholarship number.
Well,
is that right?
You can sign 25 on National Signing Day, up to 25, but you can only have 85 scholarship players on the team. Yeah. So that you got to work with those.
But
numbers.
You could, if you wanted to. Now, hear this. Now, this is stun you. If you could, if you wanted to, you could take your 84 players and put them on one team. If you wanted to,
everybody could transfer,
and all the guys would transfer, and they'd all have
I thought about that, yeah. Everybody, if Auburn fired, if Auburn ran off every one of their players, and then some leader of Alabama said, "Man, I really like this Harsin. We're all going to Auburn."
Yeah.
The whole Alabama team could transfer to Auburn, and so wouldn't that be something? All the Alabama fans, all the Auburn fans would suddenly love all the Alabama players.
And Mike, they say that the Georgia backup is one of the top people in the portal. Georgia's quarterback, and a lot of people think this guy's better than Georgia's quarterback already.
Well, they already talk about him.
The
fans wanted him to play, but.
What is your general conversation in the barbershop with on a daily basis? What do y'all talk about?
We talk about fishing the main time. We don't gossip now. We hadn't got time to gossip.
I mean, but now what do y'all talk about? Do y'all talk about what's going on in government or
we watch Fox News and of course we watch Matt Dillon the other day.
Yeah, what time did it come on?
About all evening.
Yeah, it does. I like it too.
Yeah. We watch Mr. Jerry Benson. He likes that 54, the stock market channel.
Does it?
And he tells me, say, you need to do some tweeting. That stock market's red today.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of stock. Jerry got a bunch of stock. Yeah.
Mr. Jerry, he had the tractor come.
His best buddy growing up was my Uncle Bobby Rice.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Benson? Yeah. Because my older brother.
J. Roy Crow.
Yeah, that's right. My brother-in-law, J. Roy Crow.
And Mr. Jerry here, he's got all them stocks, and he'd tell me, say, if you'll tweet somebody, I said, well, I'm going to tweet Donald Trump. He can buy or sell 1 million shares, and, it's going to go up if he buys.
Yeah.
So I tell him, I say, I'll talk to him, but of course I never have talked to Donald Trump. But I'd like to.
Jerry's a big Republican, though, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Donald Trump, says, we need to turn this business of child care, foster homes, all this, we need to turn it over to the churches. Says the government hadn't got any business being in the in the child raising business.
I agree.
Says you get these churches all over the United States. And I was thinking, I said, man, Wisconsin, Maryland, all them Midwest states, they could they could have 100 homes in their state.
If the Democrats would have done one thing that would have been very smart, was just leave the economy alone the way Trump and then had the economy going. He had the economy going straight up like it's never been before, and then just to be different, we've messed it up going the other way.
Well, you got a threat from China and Russia right now. They were flying Russia was flying 17 miles from our border in California. They had the nuclear weapons on the plane. And Trump got elected, all that stopped.
Yeah.
But that's,
They're trying to scare you about the boogeyman Russia, the boogeyman China going to get us. So what we got to do? We got to spend some more money on the military bases and weapons.
Raymond Ledford is our guest today, and of course, if you don't know him, he owns Raymond Style Shop on the South Brunning Street in Troy. You've got an excellent location for your business. People, most everybody knows you're there.
August the 5th, I was talking before that, but I opened up August the 5th in 76. But anyway, Mr. Frank Benson, I said, Mr. Frank, the cloth shop on Brunning Street, that building, I'd like to put a barber shop in there. He said, I'd like for you to put one in there, and says, we'll help you stay there. So the rent was low, and that was, August 5th, 21, I was there 45 years.
That's
something. I tell my customers now, I said, well, I'm not going to never retire. I said, told Mr. Jerry Benson, he's 86. I said, Mr. Jerry, you be here at 7 o'clock on my birthday when I turn 102, I'm going to be cutting hair. I'm going to cut 8 heads that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody said, what you going to do the rest of the day? That won't take long. I said, I think I'll go fishing. But, you know, I enjoy my work, and I just like people. They, you know.
You sure are. You're doing what you need to be doing.
I don't know if anybody fishes in better holes than you do in this country. I mean, you know, since you told me you're fishing in James Sykes Pond and Kenny Campbell's ponds and Larry Johnson's late Larry Johnson pond, did you fish in that pond much?
Oh, Dr. Collins?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a membership. Me and Mr. Jim Williams, we fished there 20 years, 30 years.
But then those shell crackers, what they had, they come on out there, the bluegill, and
that wide.
Yeah, that wide. Boy, what kind of pull was that?
Oh, well, you just.
How long would it take you with a cane pole to pull him in?
I'd throw my 18-foot cane pole out with a 20-foot line on it, and when I hung him, I said, "Oh, come in here, Granddaddy, whoa!" And you hear that line?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That line was singing.
Yeah.
And
that's what it is. Yeah.
J.L. Bruce.
Yeah.
He had a cabin up there. He came out, and me and my neighbor Sam Ellis, we were fishing, and he says, "Go to that pine top over there. Right over there, there's a bed in that pine top." And he couldn't hear me, but I told Sam, I said, "Sam, I ain't never caught one on bed over there." But we was going to the thing, I threw over a limb. There was a pretty good sized hole between the limb and the trunk of the tree. I threw over that limb with my 18-foot cane pole with a wiggler on there. And they say, you know, crickets, but I use wigglers. But anyway, court went down, and I hung him, and I made him jump that limb. I could just push that pole up, and he'd jump over. And later on, I got me 2 cane poles, and then I hung 2 at the time I had them.
Oh,
gosh. I'm in here, Granddaddy, whoa. That line singing.
Yeah.
You know, my
hey, Jay, you jump in the boat because he's scared of you, probably.
But I'd do like that, and he'd jump that limb.
Yeah.
This one, same way. JL said, "What you gonna do with them now? You got 2." And they were about that wide, you know, pound high. So, but I played them on down, got them to the boat, and I jerked that pole up like that, brought it back down, and that fish fell in the boat. We was on Sam's boat. It wasn't high as this here, but it was pretty high. And I did the other one the same way. He landed in the boat.
Yeah. Oh,
Mr. JL said, "I see what you can do."
Yeah.
But we caught 25 of them big bull brim off of that bed. Like I say, I had never caught one out of it.
I'm gonna tell you my memories of that pond. That limb you cast over, I cast into that limb, and it's just my dad or whoever was fishing with me constantly having to go paddle the boat in there and get your hook off the limb. Here's what I did one time too at that pond. There's a little basket you sink in the water when you catch your brim. You put your fish in there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was playing with it while we were fishing. I was bored. And dang, if I didn't let go of that thing.
Boy.
So everybody caught about 20 fish, and it went straight to the bottom of the pond.
And
my dad did not whip me, but he said, he kept talking seriously about, I'm going to dive down there and get those fish. And man, that pond is full of snakes and critters. And I said, no,
how deep
don't
is
do
that
that,
pond?
Dad.
Is that a deep pond?
We found one spot that was 27 feet deep.
27 feet, that's pretty deep, isn't it?
Yeah. It was a deep pond.
So think about all day, all the fish they caught, and then I dropped them, and they went to the bottom of it. I was about 8, 9 years old.
I tell the story every time.
You weren't the most popular guy out there that day, I promise you.
Spencer Burkett said he fished with Adolph Rosenberg. And Mr. Adolph get on the pond at daylight and fish the dark.
Would he,
and
the college
he'd
pond?
catch 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would he do with them?
He'd give them away.
He would.
he didn't. I don't reckon he ate them. But
now let me
he'd ask
ask you this.
Spencer if he wanted them. He said no.
I know when you get one of those big old bulls, you go ahead and cut his head off. But do you fillet him, or what do you?
You can fillet him, but we had a eating one time in my class reunion, class of '62, and anyway, we had one brim. He was about this wide, you know, and I wait till last to get my plate. I said I don't want to get him. You know,
you at your class reunion eat the fish,
yeah. I catch, yeah. But anyway, I see that big fish. I'm the last one to go get my plate. About 20 folks, you know.
Yeah.
And I get that big brim and I stand him up on my plate with my thumb up against him. He's standing up on my plate like that. And I fix my plate and then I walk around where everybody can see it. You know. And somebody says, I was going to get that fish. But too late. I got it.
Now, you deep fry those big brim, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, you do a lot of cooking, too. What's the key to cooking fish?
I'm not that good on a gas cooker. Now, I can fry them on the stove. I won't scorch one off. But if I can get that gas cooker, the first batch comes out golden brown. And every batch after that is scorched. You scorch them too hot. I don't just that gas. But now my sons, Cliff and even Reed can do it. But I can't cook on that gas. But I'm gonna learn now. I'm gonna learn one of these days.
But I bet you probably had 500 fish fries in your life.
No, we did it.
A lot more than that.
A lot more than that.
Dad loved to do it, and he would catch those brim, and grandmother would fry them up on the stove, and we would have brim, hush puppies. I don't know what else we would have. Coleslaw.
More than likely. French fries.
Man, and French fries. You're right.
You've been to many fish fries, haven't you?
Sam Ellis, my neighbor, he loves to cook. We keep in Dr. College Pond. You keep every brim you caught, and but anyway, we'd have over 100 fish. We'd invite 25 folks. We'd have 100 brim and 38 bass, and
that is good eating.
We'd have 25 or 30 folks there to eat.
Yeah. Well,
big fish fries.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the water at college was always a pretty green. It's just perfect color, and it was just a great place. But most of them, the brim were underneath the trees that were growing up, coming out, and you had to throw you get your cork underneath those bushes. Is that right?
You could. You fish up, but we fish that spillway corner. And we pulled up there one morning to the spillway corner. I had caught 25 on Wednesday, on the weekend. Anyway, we pulled up there and Mr. Jim dropped his anchor. They were on bed right there. So Mr. Jim, they right there. I'm going to fish over under these sweet gum trees. But he dropped his anchor and it just chalug, it muddied the water. I reckon I messed this up. I said, no, sir, Mr. Jim. I threw my paddle in the bottom of the boat, the aluminum boat.
Yeah.
Clank, clank. He says, he looked around. I said, you hadn't messed them up. I threw on this side, and he threw up there, and we started catching them like that. We caught about 25, but I said, you can't mess them up. We let them know we were here.
What size hook would you use?
Number 8.
Yeah. You know, I see some people fishing with a real small hook. Why would they do that?
That's you fish, you'll see them make them Dr. College fish. When I got a membership, I went up there 3 times before I ever caught a brim.
Really?
I used my 10-pound river line.
Yeah. On
the reel and my cane pole. I had a 10-pound line on my pole. Larry Johnson told me, says you get the small hook, number 8 hook.
Yeah.
Little bitty small
little bitty one, yeah.
And a small BB on that lid. and says, you throw out there and you can catch him.
Yeah.
Well, I fished 3 times, and I carried Sam Ellis with me. He had a 4-pound test.
Yeah.
And that's the line to put on.
Well, the late Larry Johnson has to be one of the best fishermen I've ever been around.
Oh,
I used to fish, at Old Crow Lake, and we'd be out in the lake and not catching a thing. And then he'd come and he'd get out of his truck, take his coat off, and he still got his tie on, and he'd start walking around that bank there. And when he caught them, he would say, "Hold them, hold them." We heard "hold them" all the way around that thing, where he caught almost every time he threw it out. And I'm sitting out there, been out there all day long, I hadn't caught a thing.
He carried me up there one day, and we caught 8 brim. I caught one on a wiggler. He said, "Don't bring no wiggler, need cricket." So we caught 8. It was in May, and the weather, it'd be cold that night, and they'd run them off
that's
the
right.
bed.
Yeah.
And but anyway, about dark, just 30 minutes before dark.
Can you smell a bed?
Oh yeah, you can smell them brim bed.
I mean, not so you don't actually see them visually. Do you see them visually, or do you just
No,
smell
you
them?
smell them, and then you just start casting your bait around, and you catch them.
And once you found that one little spot, then you were.
Oh yeah.
Did you anchor down?
Oh yeah, we'd anchor down.
Yeah.
But that day, Larry says, "You hadn't even got a mess of fish. Can you fly fish?" I said, "No, but I'll paddle for you."
Yeah.
So I start paddling. He sculled that boat all day
Yeah.
with his right hand fishing. But anyway, he got his fly rod out. He'd pop out, lay it out over there. Want to get it, he's catching. He started catching them and fished all the way around. He'd throw in there and pop it. The old big swirl where the brim came up to get it. I said, "You're not going back to get him?" No, he had his change.
Oh, really?
He fished with the green hornet.
Larry did?
Yeah, that's what he
I
called
tell you
it. Bug, he called it his fly, called it a green hornet.
Yeah.
And we fished the dark, 30 minutes.
I don't know, you love to fish, but I don't know if anybody loved to fish anymore than Larry Johnson.
He was never there just about it.
Well, he went down to the Amazon and fished.
Oh, yeah, for those
peacock
bass, those green peacock bass.
Well, I've heard too many people say he was a great fisherman. It's got to be true.
Well, and the thing about it, he'd go down there where it was dangerous, I mean, it really was.
But he beat the world champion.
He had a 6'5", 350-pound bodyguard though.
Yeah, I know it's his son, yeah.
Yeah, Larry had he beat the world champion fly fisherman.
Oh, did he?
At Dr. Collins Pond.
Yeah,
He invited him up there with him, and he beat him that day. And the man says, "I'm glad you didn't fish the championship."
Well, was Larry? Now I would think it'd be fun to fish with a fly rod. That's probably every time he go in these bushes, he'd catch one. Is that right?
Oh yeah, he'd catch one, or he'd pop at it. He'd pop it another foot over, or 2 feet over.
Yeah.
And we had 38 at 5:30.
Oh boy, that's something.
He caught 30 fish.
That's what the fishing for trout in rivers, they fly fish, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I told him about a rainbow trout. He's like a catfish. Most fish, they'll bite about anything they see, but that trout, you use a salmon egg.
Yeah.
Use a night crawler.
Uh-huh.
You use
the hula popper at night, don't you? You remember the old hula popper?
Oh yeah.
Larry and I have fished at night out at the Old Crow Pond. Yeah. He and I used to go out there and fish, and everything was by sound. You couldn't see it, but you could hear everything, and it was exciting. It was exciting, and then of course you watch the moccasins almost jump in the boat with you, but that was a real thrill though to fish with Larry.
Oh yeah, you fish. I got a jitter stick, black tiger stripe, white stripes on it, about that long. Blue, 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 blue. It comes through the water like that. bubbling, you know, and you'd hear that strike. And we went, me and a fellow went to Martin Area up there.
Yeah.
The pond up there.
So you get to fish up there too?
Pond, yeah, I fished up there.
Oh boy.
Mr. Dennis Smith, the first man, he said, you come when you get ready, night or day.
He sure was a fine man, Dennis Smith.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Dennis was fine.
Well, I tell you that you know, and then you know the colleges were close to my buddy up at Seiko, and you know he
J.B.
had
Money.
J.B. Money, but the big guy.
Oh yeah, Mr. Jeff.
Jeff Sorrell, and you could fish up there too. I mean, you do not have any problem fishing in anybody's pond, do you?
When I'd fished before when Jerry had it, and then Palo Verdes out there.
Yeah.
Curtis had that,
yeah.
and then Mr. Jim Golden, he bought it. And,
Jim Golden is a boy. You can write a book.
There's a lot of stumps
Jim
in that pond.
You know, Jim just sold his trailer park for a bunch of. And of course, he's quite a guy.
The most famous pond or lake in Troy, Lake Lagoon, Troy and Mercy, right?
Yeah. Well, you never see anybody fish out there. Why?
I don't reckon they encourage them now, but we used to fish.
Yeah.
We had a boy named Franklin Terry. He got bit by a cottonmouth out there, and it hung on his heels.
It hung on his heels. Now, how'd that work?
Oh, boy reached, got the snake, got him off of it, and killed it. They carried him on to the Beard Hospital, and he was fine.
Yeah, so, want to mention Max Credit Union. Boy, I tell you, this is one of the top credit unions in the country, and we appreciate them very much.
Hey, can I tell another Collie Pond story?
Yeah.
It dovetails with my story about animals saving their human owners. We had a little peekapoo, part Pekingese, part poodle, named Muffin. It looked like a little miniature sheepdog, a little black and white color, and house dog as could be. But we would take Muffin to the pond, is what we called it, and sometimes we didn't go out on the boat. We fished off the land. So we walked down to the end past Mr. Lunsford and Chase Riddle's trailers down there to a point that we could fish off the land, my brothers and I. And we're fishing, and the grass is real tall right there. Nobody cuts the grass. You know, it comes up to our knees. And all of a sudden we hear a little Muffin growling. And we look down there, Muffin has a moccasin in his mouth, bites the moccasin in two.
Oh, no.
Now that moccasin, I cannot say, but that moccasin had to be 2 feet from biting one of us. And that little house dog, Muffin, found that moccasin and bit it in half. And
boy, that's amazing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
true story.
You know, we've got Christmas coming right around the block, and of course we want you to make sure to shop locally, the wonderful stores here in Troy, and I found out a little information last night. Hear this now. You know, our guy that owns the Italian restaurant downtown.
Yeah.
You know, and of course you eat out a lot. I know that. You know, wonderful food, and of course he also owns the restaurant at IGA. You're talking about Yanni. All right, listen to this. Yanni now has got serves a wonderful lunch there, and then of course has that wonderful Italian restaurant downtown. Now he's got 2 more restaurants going across the square, and one of them is going to be a meat and 3 restaurant, and then the other one's going to be sort of a marketplace.
Yeah.
So Yanni doing this, and so Yanni is really doing moving fast downtown, and of course Sips has moved its operation on over to the
Thompson Peanut Warehouse.
That's right, Thompson Peanut Warehouse, but also that's your Hanchy Street location.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of things that are going on.
Jeremy Taylor, yeah.
Of course, we got a new coffee shop downtown, so We've got 2 coffee shops. Something else about Troy, and I don't know if y'all can name the location. Go ahead and try to, Mike, or one of y'all. Name me the location of all the Mexican restaurants now in Troy. Rice, I saw the restaurant.
I don't live in Troy, but I mean, I know there's one over there near Jason Gregory from here called Chrysler Jeep.
DeMarcos?
DeMarcos.
Monarchus, yeah.
Monarchus. That's the first one. That's done really well.
Then you
And then you get a place across from Courtyard Marriott Hampton Inn Rodeo, I guess.
yeah, Rodeo.
Yeah,
that's the old Brittany's restaurant.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good too.
Then there's another Mexican restaurant right next door to it.
That's where Lee's Buffet was.
It's a good yeah. And I've eaten there.
Trojan something?
Yeah, Trojan, but it's a real good Mexican restaurant. All right, that's 4. How many?
Then you got the new one out by the Piggly Wiggly on Highway 231, which is called Los Hermanos. That means the brothers. And
all right, that's located in a old pizza place there in the shopping center. Is that right?
Just opened.
And then they're building another new restaurant in that parking lot.
They are?
Yeah, that's right. There's a Mexican restaurant going up in the parking lot.
Man. Awesome.
So there's 6. I counted 6 Mexican restaurants located.
Did you say
There's someplace called Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Taco Bell.
that's right. Yeah, I didn't mention Taco Bell. You're right.
The first one.
That's right. So
the former Crow's Chicken is now another chicken place. What is it? Church's Chicken.
Sure. Oh yeah, that's right. But now chicken places, a lot of chicken places too. But I just wanted to mention, if you want Mexican food, we got it in Troy.
Troy, Alabama, we got it.
See, I can tell you from my kids love Mexican.
El Palacios, I was a big event back in the day growing up in Troy. If you got the car with a family and went to El Palacios.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know it. You're right.
Is El Palacios still there in Ozark?
Yeah, still there. And I don't see what to get excited about. I could eat at a place here in Troy without having to drive 40 miles.
Troy actually had an El Palacios for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you eat out a lot. Are you used to? Do you still eat out a lot?
Pretty good bit.
Where do y'all eat Mexican, or where do y'all go?
We Monarchus, we like to go there. And
You ever go to the Half Shell?
we go to the half chef, yeah. That's
Of course, you at one time ate out almost every meal.
some weeks we did. But
You mean Sherry would cook for you?
when the boys was young, she cooked
Yeah.
peas, country fried steak every day. She cooked every day for
Would she bring you your plate, or you have to drive out to eat it, or what?
them. I'd carry from Friday night. She cooked supper, and I'd carry my leftovers.
Yeah, I got you.
A fellow named Albert Scarborough.
Albert
I was
Scarborough.
working with Barry down there at Park Lane. Albert came in. Any of you boys got any scraps back here? Or got anything to eat back here? It was 2:30 and I'd been working since 7 o'clock. And I said, I'm not going to get to eat it. I had a plate I had about this much butter beans, potatoes that much, and 2 little pieces of roast and a big piece of cornbread. I said, Albert, I got some scraps back there.
Yeah.
You can eat them if you want to. I'm not going to be able to eat. So he went back there, and we heard him eating. He was making sounds while he was eating.
Yeah.
So when he got through, he came back up there and says, Ledford, anytime you got any of them old scraps back there, you be sure to call me, because I like them.
Yep. I'll always remember Albert Scarborough.
Didn't Junior Bird take care of Albert Scarborough better than anybody? Probably.
Mary Meeks was right there with him. Now, everybody looked
My
like
daddy
that.
used to carry him from out of Seco to town a lot.
Yeah.
Not Seco, but Zion Chapel.
Yeah, Zion Chapel. But he might have gone up there.
Yeah.
He had some friends up
He
there.
was
close to
amazing,
Seco.
and of course, I imagine he came into the barbershop and just sat down a lot, did he?
Yeah.
Probably every day.
And then he would go down to the courthouse, and he'd sit down there almost all day long. And
One of his main jokes, he'd say, he was coming up the Elba Highway, coming toward Troy. It wasn't 167 back then. I reckon it was 87.
And he never had a problem getting a ride.
But, he was pulling a chain, and Mr. Dago Dozier, he asked him, said, Albert, why are you pulling that chain? He says, have you ever seen anybody push one? And Mr. Dago asked him one time, they were picking peanuts, and he says, Albert, it's fixing to rain. How about getting in this field and help us stack these peanuts? They stack them up in stacks, with a pitchfork. They'd plow them up and then get a sweet gum or something, make a stack pole out of it. And they'd stack up a big pile of peanuts. But he asked Albert, and Albert says, you had them things in the sack one time, you ought to left them. He wouldn't do it.
Somebody needs to do a story about Albert Scarborough.
My daddy used to give him a ride from out of S.C. Boswell's store. S.C. Boswell's store, and he'd hang out there all the time. And my daddy would let him ride in Detroit sometime together. And this was back when I was working for my daddy some in high school. And he'd get in there and he'd start making a fuss, S.C. Boswell, would you marry S.C. Boswell? Well, he'd always say that about people. Would you marry this guy? Would you marry Raymond Ledford and all that? Yep. And my daddy would say, shut up. And he didn't say a word until we got to Troy.
Yeah.
but my daddy had heard enough. He had heard nobody.
Albert said he was, in his younger days, he was down in Op, and says he got running his mouth down there, and the big fella knocked him down. He was whipping him. He says, Albert, will you get on the next bus going to Troy, Alabama? Will you get on the bus going to Troy? He said, if you'll let me go, I'll catch that one that just left. But Larry Meeks was his big brother. Larry's got tapes, had tapes on.
Oh, I tell you, yeah. Johnny Mitchell, do you remember the late Johnny Mitchell? He used to hang out at that store there a lot, And, the thing about it, people were always generous to help him, It's amazing. And that's one of the he'll go down as sort of a one of the icons.
He was one of the great home in Troy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he came here in '29.
But and of course, a lot of people said he would a lot of this that was put on. He wasn't as bad as you think, and he was really highly educated.
He was.
Well, he served in World War II, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
He would go to court down there, and Judge Ears Paul, he'd tell folks, he say, you think he's crazy, but says he knows every case. He knows how every case. He'd sit there. I don't reckon the judge let him run his mouth in there, but he says he's sitting back there and he can tell you who's going to win and who's going to lose every case.
Well, I can remember so well in the paper when Galt came through here and shot up all those people and everything, and he claimed
he saw Galt casing out F&M Bank.
That's right.
A couple of weeks before he robbed the bank in Ozark.
And he talked to him, and all that, and then John Lou Wombles down at Coots' place claimed that he saw him and everything.
It's probably true.
You can see this is happening now. Yeah, it is. I saw him, and now John Lou Wombles said he saw him and all that, and he said, yep. And John Lou Wombles said he sold him a beer. He would get real excited about it,
I think they might have found receipts or something that showed that Galt was in Pike County about the same.
He probably was.
You want to talk about the Christmas at home?
Yeah, I want to exactly. And of course, being with Christmas coming up, and Raymond, tell us about Christmas at the Baptist Children's Home.
Christmas time at the Baptist Home was a lot of fun. Everybody was happy. folks had clothing people that bought their clothes, they would send them different, presents for Christmas. And everybody, got presents.
Did you always have presents?
Oh yeah, I always had plenty. And you might not get what you wanted, but you had plenty. And but every Christmas was happy. One Christmas before Christmas, we'd get oranges and apples.
Yeah.
And I had a big, delicious apple about that big. And I was looking for my older brother, Charlie. He had a pocket knife. He had cut my apple for me.
Yeah.
And so I found Ron, the brother younger than Charlie. He was a year and a half old, younger than Charlie. Anyway, I found him. He had a pocket knife. He cut my apple, but he cut it a little on cut one side a little smaller, and he gave me the small side. I said, Ronald, why in the world did you give me the small side of that apple? I said, if I was cutting that apple, I would have given you the big part, and I'd have took the small. He said, you got the small. Quit complaining. I gave you the small, and that's what you wanted.
But bless it, I used to tell my kids, just joking with them, I said, don't y'all worry about all these toys. I'm gonna make sure you get plenty of fruit and plenty of nuts. That's about what you're gonna get. They said, what? Well, you gonna not give us a present? We got to eat apples and nuts. And I said, those boys out of the children's home, that's what they gonna get for lunch, maybe for Christmas.
We had everybody, the girls' houses and all the houses, we had plenty.
Now y'all sing a lot of Christmas carols, is that right?
They did. I couldn't carry a tune in the book.
You can't carry a tune even now?
Raymond was 6 years old, and we was at First Baptist on the front row with him. Raymond, we was singing Glorious. I was trying to, and I started singing, and Raymond fell off the bench laughing when I was singing Glorious. But
you sound like me.
Yeah.
I just lip sync. That's act like I'm singing.
But now, so some.
Dad's a big singer.
Yeah.
He doesn't always know the words, but he's a big boy.
Mr. Shire and Miss Lyra Crouch, she had the choirs at the Baptist Home.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we got a record at Troy University. They copied it, supposed to put it on CD, and but it's all the choirs they had, and
yeah, sure
all
was.
the older people.
But now, one thing about it,
How did that work through Troy University, Raymond? If a kid grew up in the Baptist Children's Home and after high school,
the what now?
Would the Baptist Children's Home provide college for kids? How did that work if they wanted to go to college?
Yeah. Would the Baptist Home pay for college?
Oh yeah, they would for the girls. Mr. Cox would. He'd let every girl go, and no boys. You could go in the military, and they.
Because Howard, a lot of them went to Howard College because it was a Baptist school.
Mac Weaver and Carl Dabbs and all of them, they helped them.
I saw Carl Dabbs. He's made a millionaire, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he was making $1 million a year with bass. The bass fishing.
Yeah, Race Cox organization.
Yeah. So he's done very well.
He was a finance man.
Did y'all ever see him? Did they ever come?
We hadn't seen.
So he doesn't support the home, does he?
Oh yeah, he
does. Well, good.
But he don't come. He's probably too busy.
Yeah.
Mac Weaver, he's in
MacArthur Weaver.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can name some. We can't do it on this show, but I'd like to talk. Mention individuals, and you talk about them like MacArthur Weaver, like Thad, like Flanagan, like Columbus Patman.
They called the duck, and it was a duck.
Yeah, that's right, and of course, wonderful people that were raised. Hope you'll come back and see us later, and we'll reminisce more.
I'll come back.
In fact, we'd love to have you, and of course, Raymond's Style Shop. Have you seen it on the screen?
Yeah, you got an ad on here.
Yeah, that's right. Sure have. No question about it. hope that you've enjoyed our show. I'm sorry I'm having a hard time talking this morning, but it'll get better. Of course, Rice and I are going to the basketball game tonight. Is that right?
Maybe.
All right. Well,
I got to pray over it.
Well, you got to pray over it.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you
I
what,
see what my kids want to do.
it's a great Christmas, and I'd love for you to come back, one day before Christmas and talk about.
Try to come another, maybe next Tuesday.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. That'd be great. No question about it.
Yeah.
We hope that you enjoyed our show, and we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early for Today in L.A. You can see us again at 1:30. This is special to have Raymond on our show.